I have 10 things for you to do immediately after buying your first embroidery machine. Hi, I'm Sarah from sewingmastery.com, where we take sewing machines, embroidery machines, and sergers, open them up and do a video on every part of the manual. So if we have done your machine, you can find those videos at sewingmastery.com. We'll put links below this YouTube video for anything that we mentioned that could be helpful. So make sure you check out the description for additional information. So we wrote a blog on 10 things that you should do after you buy an embroidery machine because it's a scary thought. We also have a video that we'll link right up here too of the 10 things that you should know before you buy your first embroidery machine. So depending on when you are watching this and when you've made your purchase, all these tips are going to be helpful. So buying your first embroidery machine can be a little daunting, but once you've figured out the best one for you and your budget, I hope you found a good store in your area that you can support and they can support you. There are a few things that will make your embroidery journey a little bit more smooth. So first thing to do is if that store you bought it from has classes, go ahead and get signed up. Most stores offer classes with the purchase of your machine. So make sure you get on the schedule to be signed up for the next round of classes that they offer. And while you're waiting for your class to become available, make sure you take that machine home, open it up, and try embroidering some of the built-in designs, whether it's your name with letters. I think that was the first thing I ever did with my embroidery machine, my first one, or you just pick a design. Remember, the first design is always going to be the hardest. You're going to struggle with your hoop and which kind of stabilizer. Speaking of stabilizer, one of the things that you also need to do is buy a variety of stabilizers. The store you bought your machine from can usually help you with those supplies. So you need a cutaway stabilizer, a tearaway stabilizer, and a water-soluble stabilizer. Those three are the ones that will get you started. Next, if you can't wait for your first class to start, then join me in my Embroidery Essentials online course. These quilts here are the best way to master your machine. I'm going to take you from zero to hero in the fastest way. You're going to learn hooping, things about stabilizer, and then 15 different embroidery techniques. They're not hard because they're small, but what happens is you do each of those techniques over and over and over with a slightly different outcome. So check out our links below for that online course, and trust me, that would be the class I would recommend you take if you are working with a brand new machine. And when you get to your classes at the store, you're going to be able to be that much more advanced and be able to comprehend more of what that instructor will be saying because you've tried it out at home on your own embroidery machine. Now, when's the best time to read your manual? Well, you're going to probably have to peek at it to see how to get things started. But I always say after a class or the Embroidery Essentials online course, you'll probably want to peruse your manual. Lightly read it. Realize those things that your machine is doing and maybe a few other things that you haven't explored just yet. A manual is a great reference, but having some hands-on experience or maybe some online videos can really make a difference in helping you understand the written manual that came with your machine. So now that you're getting going with your great machine, hopefully you're falling in love with it by now. Next, go back to the store you bought it from or explore other stores in your area that might be hosting some embroidery events. Don't worry if that machine is not their brand of machine. Embroidery is embroidery. A hoop is a hoop. And you'll have great camaraderie with other people that have embroidery machines. Again, it will help make techniques that you've tried out, successful or not, become more understood and help you further down your embroidery journey. Take as many classes as possible. If there's a class, take it. If you can't do it right away, take it when you can. Trust me, that is the best place to learn. Now, you're probably buying some embroidery thread by now. A couple spools here, a couple spools there. Now's the time to start kind of building a little bit larger thread collection. Trust me, by the time you start sitting down to do your own projects, it is so nice to finally realize that you have a wide variety of thread colors to select from. If you think of a color palette, if I might say you need 3 reds, a light red, a medium red, and a dark red. Same for orange, a light orange, a medium orange, and a darker orange. And go right on down the crayon palette and truly kind of get a light, medium, and dark of every color possible. That's a great place to start. Of course, you realize how many colors you don't have, and that is something that you'll grow as you continue doing embroidery designs. Make sure you've checked out the online videos that are available for your machine. Just go up to a Google search, type your machine, the model number, and embroidery or how to embroider, and a lot of videos from lots of different people, including myself, will pop up and get you started. After these steps, you're probably starting to experiment with downloading designs from the internet and transferring the designs to your machine. Doing that often, that is good repetition to help you remember how to do those steps so you don't forget. So if you're new to computers, again, the more often you do it, the easier it becomes. 2 more things for you. Number 1, craftsy.com is a great resource for lots of different embroidery classes. They have the option to buy classes and also purchase an annual membership, kind of like Netflix for sewers. But it's not just sewing and embroidering, it's everything from knitting, crocheting, photography, woodworking, you name it, cake decorating, cooking, lots and lots of classes. A subscription will let you have access to all those classes whenever you need a little inspiration. And the last thing, you know which day you bought your embroidery machine. I'd like you to go ahead and schedule your annual service. So if you bought it this month, go ahead and find a date going forward 12 months from now that you are going to plan to take your machine in and have it cleaned and serviced. You're probably going to use it a lot this year. Let's make sure that you get on that annual rotation. That machine and you are going to have tons of fun together. But if you keep it serviced, that means that a lot of those hiccups that come up for people are actually not going to be there. That is a true statement. So make sure you stay on your annual service. It will make a difference in the life of your embroidery machine. So I hope these tips have been helpful. If they have been, make sure you give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a comment of what was most helpful for you when you bought your first embroidery machine, and maybe I'll see you in our Embroidery Essentials online course where I can help you by coming right into your sewing room with our videos to help you master your new embroidery machine.